Green to Gene. So the green revolution of the late 20th century, created by Norman Borlaug, who died in September, basically saved 1 billion people's lives because it quadrupled the output of grain per acre, first wheat and then rice. And what happened was when, as you'll see in lunchtime, when the population explosion occurred over the last 50 years, if it wasn't for the green revolution, literally 1 billion people or more would have died. We are now moving to the genetic revolution. We are unavoidably having to embrace genetically altered food to some degree. There's not enough arable land on this planet to feed everybody unless we want to put toxic chemicals into the ground. So we are moving into genetically altered food. This is genetically altered corn that grows in drought. The one that when I first heard really revolted me, and if you haven't heard of this, it will probably revolt you, lab beef, right? Think about that. Beef being grown in laboratories. Like in my vision, it's like, aluminum pans, Facts, 18% of all greenhouse gas comes from cattle, from a certain end of the cattle, right? When you slaughter livestock, there's a lot of waste that has to be, it's an inefficient food system, and we know that it gets injected with all these antibiotics and growth hormones that go into our body. So lab beef will be the healthiest beef we've had. So I've been talking about that for 2.5 years. So I was giving a speech in December in Canada, Globe and Mail, lab beef, right? It's here. So we're entering the genetic food. If you want to have a conversation about what's organic and not organic, or genetically altered food or not, go have that conversation in Nigeria, right? It's an effete conversation that we're lucky to have because we can choose what we eat. One of the unintended consequences or the trickle-down effects of the great global recession is that in May of 2008, before the meltdown, 900 million people out of the 6.8 billion of us in this planet lived on a diet of 1,800 calories or less a day, which ultimately is a starvation diet. May 2009, after the global financial meltdown, it crossed over 1 billion. So 1 out of 7 of our species is on a starvation diet today. So we have to accept genetically altered food because we didn't do very good on population management over the last 100 years.